I swear to God, my life is a movie. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Welcome back to Before the Rise podcast, guys. If I take a couple drinks of water throughout this episode, it's because I'm 100% sick right now, and I know because my throat is killing me. I woke up last night, and man, I was not feeling good. But either way, I wanted to throw an episode out there. So if I look like groggy or I sound groggy or I look nasty, just disregard that. Um, Last night I shot a couple. I mean, I want to say a couple episodes, but I shot one or two episodes that I was really intrigued on sharing with you guys. Midway through the episodes, I had distractions happen. I wasn't able to finish them, primarily because my mom got sick, and I had to just kind of pause and said, that's important. I gotta hop off this. So I paused, and when you're going through a podcast, you have a train of thought going on, and you just stop midway, and you're like, you know what? Let's resume this. It's not the same. So I said, you know what? Next morning I'll shoot when I feel a little bit better. Granted, I don't feel better. My throat is killing me. I feel like ass right now. Like I feel like a truck ran over me with their tire on my throat. And it hurts. It hurts to talk. So bear with me on this episode. But anyways, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm going to tell you guys about some of the things I caught on when I went to a trip this past weekend. My wife wanted to take me out for my birthday. She was telling me how she doesn't want to take me out on the day of because we celebrate with family and all these things. So we wanted to go before then, and I was agreeing with her. I said, you know what, that sounds good. Let's go. So she took me on the first week of my birthday, or the first week of the month of my birthday, which was this past weekend in May, and we went to Colorado. So we went to Colorado. It was nice. I saw a couple things there that was very interesting for me. I noticed a few things that was really off-putting too. We went ziplining. We did the normal tourist stuff, check out different cities, look at some of the restaurants they have, eat a lot. I ate a lot of food, and I got fat. Like I was getting chubbier by the second. I was looking at air, and I was getting fatter. Like I was looking at water, I got fatter. I was looking at Coke or 7-Up, whatever you want. I was looking at food in general, and I could see the weight just gaining on me more and more. But it was fun because it tasted amazing, and now I'm back on the grind. Either way, what I noticed that was a little bit trippy for me was we went to this one art museum. It's called Meow Wolf. When I went there, I thought it was just gonna be like art that would be significantly lame because it's the middle of the United States. So I was like, what's gonna be here? I was totally wrong. I was very, very wrong. When I went in there with her, we both looked at it, and my wife and I, we were watching some some weird things happening. And to put it for you guys in a very short term, I'm actually gonna put a video up so you can watch it while I go through it with you guys, and I'll put some pictures up after. But in case you're not watching on YouTube and you're on Spotify and listening, the video I'm putting up is just showing like a church setup inside of the art museum where they have the owls, they have different animals doing different signs of like whatever Lucifer or Satan does. And it was a little bit trippy because the reason why after, and I'll put some pictures up for you guys to take a look at too, there was pictures of pentagrams. There was like kids walking into these rooms, and it was telling you how to basically sacrifice certain, I would say, certain ways of, or certain things that you can do to get attention from the goal that they had set up, which was reaching closer to Satan. And it was awkward. It was awkward. It was weird. Everything that I saw was a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, regardless of the fact I wasn't going to say much, I wanted to just more so observe and see why this was going on. And throughout this whole day that I was there for about 2 hours. I saw a lot of trippy stuff, just a lot of weird analogies, I think, and metaphors and symbolistic things that they were putting up. There was symbolism of the theme of an occult or satanic rituals happening there. And it was honestly very, very direct with, if you just read between the lines. But if you're kind of dumbfounded and go, oh, this is just art, quote unquote, then you're not going to get it. So it was trippy. It was really weird. And then that made me go on like this, like, spiral of studying and looking into Colorado as a state and why it is the way it is and how people are the people are, or the people are there and why they are the way they are there. Say that 10 times. Anyways, I was there, and when I was doing the homework or a little bit of research to share with you guys, so Colorado is owned by, well, like one third of it is owned by the government, and there's a lot of facilities there that have to do with Scientology. Now, Scientology as a whole is a very big umbrella term, but to put it for you guys in this aspect, you're going to be jumping into a lot of other ologies or studies of, science when you use the umbrella term of Scientology. Like, for example, biology, psychology, sociology. You got all these other 10, 20 different types of things that can fall under Scientology. You even got astrology under it. So it's a correlating in parallel to a lot of other leg rooms or themes of things that you can jump into. And this is weird because as I was driving by, I saw a lot of these facilities there. As you kind of go into more in the outskirts of Denver or Colorado in general, and you move out, you see there's like clear indication and signs of satanic occult or rituals or themes going on there. And it's funny that I say this because while I was there, this whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef was going on back to back, and it was kind of hectic, to put it, in very layman's terms. While I was there and listening to the songs, Kendrick Lamar, at one of his songs, I think it was in the Meet the Grams soundtrack that he threw out there as the disc. It was the second disc or the third disc, if I'm not mistaken. He talked about how the industry is filled with pedophilia and all these sex trafficking things and things that where people want attention, where they record themselves doing bad things or very sexual things and then putting it up online. And I'm speaking vaguely because obviously I don't want YouTube to kind of monetize me or just kind of kick me down to the curb. But it was, if you jump into it and you read it, it's very Epstein Island type of kind of vibe going on in that time, what he was saying and throughout the experience that he's had in the industry. Long story short, the industry that he's talking about is the music industry, but that also leg rooms and segues to the Hollywood, kind of movie industry and all these other kind of things that even jump into pharmaceutical, all these other stuff that is kind of intertwined with each other, and politics in particular too. And as you focus more and more and you see how awkward this gets, his stories, and the reason why I was listening to Kendrick more than Drake, because he was telling a story rather than singing more so or rapping. His stories that he's telling really tied in with what I was experiencing at Colorado, which was the agenda behind all the theatrical play that's put in front of us by politicians or the government, or it can be by anybody else that's in power. And it makes you think like, okay, I have this going on in my life, but and for example, this could be anything that's going on in your life. You have no money, you are lacking your car payment, whatever it may be, and you think about it and you go, but what is the messages around me that are being implemented upon me? And this made me go down to this rabbit hole. And I was having this conversation with my wife. I was telling her, it's crazy that we have a society now that makes us dehumanize other humans, completely desanitize us to the fact that people are dying, people are absolutely worthless. It's making us almost like robots, to put it for you in that aspect, emotionless. We have no emotional intelligence. We don't understand other people. And this rabbit hole that I was in, I'm telling you, like where I jumped into that, it got even deeper. I started thinking, okay, well, how is this affecting my life? How is me being at this state to listening to these people rap, to understanding that this is a theme, to now affecting my life and how I view others? And I understood even more and more as I went deeper and deeper in that rabbit hole. I understood we are legitimately being manufactured, trained, and groomed to not care for anyone else but ourselves, to make it a very doggy dogs world, wild, wild west world, especially in the Western hemisphere of the world and the Western side of the world. We really, really are in tune with the idea of you got money, you got fame, you got followers, that's it. You don't need family. You don't need love. You don't need your God. You don't need your, good people around you. You don't need kids. You don't need your spouse, whatever it may be. And this made me think a lot about why I probably, wouldn't have kids right away as I'm getting older, because of how am I going to raise them in this kind of society. That water break felt good. And as I was doing this, I realized, when I was pondering upon this more so, I was thinking this is crazy because for me now, it's come to a point in my life that I see how much people are affecting my livelihood and how I affect other people's livelihood by just the simple things that come out of our mouths rather than us actually doing something about it. Like actions speak really, really loud, but the words that you say will go further in certain ways and certain times because words is like a track that's replayed in your head. If something is said bad to you, you will remember that rather than someone doing something wrong to you. Uh, when someone makes a mistake, and they, let's just say, push you, right, you're gonna get over that physical pain. Most of the time you get over. If someone punches you, you'll get over it. You've seen people get two people get into fights, they'll punch each other and they'll get over it. And obviously that's to an extent. If you shoot someone and kill them, most people aren't going to get over that. But if you get in a small altercation or things like that, you'll get over it. However, when it comes to words, it's different. You will stick with that in your head for a very long time, and I've been a part of that, and I've experienced that both sides of the spectrum where I've said something and it stuck with that person for a very long time, and they came years later telling me like, yo, this helped me out a lot. And then I've also had that negative effect where someone has said something to me and it stuck with me for years on end, and I've said that it hurt me like years later, telling them that, or somebody else, that hey, these words that they told me if I was fat or ugly or whatever it may be really stuck with me for a long time. And it could be something simple to the person saying it, but the person receiving it or whatever the person is hearing that you're saying to them can hurt them a lot more. And throughout this whole kind of week, I was thinking about this. This has been the theme of what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which was you have all these chaotic moments in our lives, whether it's fights outside, people robbing other people, rap artists going against each other, states or locations you go to that are very, satanic or whatever it may be. How is that all coming back to us and affecting us? And I came to the assumption that it's affecting us in a way where we stop having hope, stop believing in God, and we truly stop seeing other humans as humans, and we see them as a criminal. We make hasty generalizations. We start hating people. We start acting upon our emotions, and it really starts to develop a bad society. And I'm not like a politician to tell you guys how to fix society, but I will tell you this: because of the lack of humility and humanity within us, we are now leading to a path that we don't care about anyone else but other than ourselves. We don't care about anybody succeeding or being happy other than ourselves. Like right now, there's people dying in Palestine. You think people care? Absolutely not. Other than the Muslims, they really do care. A majority of other people don't, and that's from what I've seen. Or they have the wrong information. They're telling you like, oh, people are actually okay there. Sorry, I was doing a time check, by the way, so that's what I was looking over there. You're you're seeing people basically say like, oh no, like we there's nothing going on, or we don't care because it's not our problem, or United States is not a part of this, when United States has a big role in this. So you have so many opinions of people talking about this whole Palestine Israel thing, but the fact of the matter is that no matter what you say, there's genocide happening, people are dying, and we've completely become accustomed to that. We believe that killing, death, and people blown up to pieces is not something that either has to do with us or they deserve it, quote unquote. So it really makes you think, whoa, like how much of the people around me really, truly, firmly believe that there is humanity left, one, and two, what are the responsibilities and obligations as a human living on a comfortable, first world country, or even a third world country, whatever it may be. What are the obligations I have to help other people that even I don't know, but I know for sure that they're going through a lot? So that obviously being said, it made me think a lot about the society that I live in. And quite frankly, honestly, there's times where I want to leave the country. There's times where I want to leave the state. Even when I went to Colorado, it was nice. It was because the people were way nicer than the Bay Area. Bay Area here, you have people always yelling at you. You have randoms just screaming, doing random things. You have all these different types of emotions going on that you experience in the Bay Area that you don't experience really when you leave. For example, like bad traffic, road rage, killings, robberies, rude mannerisms, things like that. And it really makes you think about how you want to raise your kids. And if you guys don't have kids and you want to raise them, really consider what they're going to be going through rather than just what you are going through what you have gone through as a child. And if you do have kids, I hope that you're looking into some places that aren't like California, because California it's difficult. It's quite hard to raise people here and live here. And that's one thing I realized when I went to Colorado. People were having a lot more happier times there, memories there, and there was friendlier staff of people, community of people, rather than here. You have all these people that like want to hurt for no reason. They want to kill for no reason. They're aggressive, passive, and it really puts a bad taste in your mouth. That's why I started hating people at a certain time. I had no friends. I was in my room doing my work, doing my job, and barely socializing with anyone, because everyone I saw, I said, this person's going to screw me over. So think about that. And maybe you guys might bring a change into your life that will make you better on how not only you can see humans as humans, but only also treat them as that, like nothing else beyond that. Not say, hey, this is a Muslim, so I'm going to treat him as a Muslim, or hey, this is a Christian, I'm going to treat him as a Christian. But just see them as a human, treat them as a human, and don't try to degrade them and hurt them based off their belief, as long as they're not obviously trying to, promote genocide or killings or whatever it may be. So consider that. And this doesn't mean that, Muslims got to go and like, and I know a lot of people I've met said like, oh, well, as a Muslim community, you have to support the gay people, or you have to support LGBTQ plus. And no, we don't. We don't have to support them. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Anyone that is Muslim, in case you don't know, there's a news flash for you. It is abundantly clear that we are not supporting them, and we should not be supporting them, based off the story of Prophet Lut, or Lot, peace be upon him. Just read that and understand why everything happened the way it did. So we can respect them for whatever they want. We can let them do whatever they want, not go out and hurt anybody. But doesn't mean we have to go and march for them and be like, oh yeah, gay rights, gay rights. You don't have to do that. You can support by saying, hey, we'll let you do whatever you want, because this is not our country. This is not an Islamic country. This is not a Muslim state country, or whatever it may be, or community. But we would appreciate if you do your part at your own place, or whatever you're designated to do, and we are allowed to do what we wanted to believe, or the prayers that we want to have in our own designated area. We don't intertwine, but we respect one another if we see each other passing by the street, rather than going, oh, I'm going to kill you, and then the other one goes, I'm going to kill you. Because right now, I've noticed one thing. We just like to point fingers and be like, oh, you're anti-gay. Oh, you're anti-Muslim. Oh, you're anti-this. Dude, we throw hate around like it's nothing. But in all honesty, I guarantee you 95% of you are miscommunicating to each other. If you just communicated right, you would have no problem. You would understand that we can be cohesive and live with each other rather than go against each other. And I say this because right now in the world, we need that humanity that we don't have, and people are dying left and right. People are poor. People don't have any support of anything from anybody, and we're sitting here comfortably in our homes with AC or heat or whatever it may be, judging and talking bad and making assumptions, or starting or adding more fuel to the fire, to the wars that there are, or to the troubles that we have in our own community. So excuse me. I would just say, jump into that a little bit. I would challenge you guys to think about these things, really dig deep. Not the whole world isn't about money. I met a lot of people that all they say is, oh, if you don't have money, don't talk. If you got money, then you can talk, or make money and become rich and then worry about everything else. It's like, no, that's not the problem. You need to understand that some of the most influential people in the world were never rich. They were never rich at their time in particular too. So if you're going to wait till you become rich to have a voice, it's the dumbest thing. I would recommend and advise all of you guys to think, to make the world better, to make the community better, even if you're rich or poor, whatever it may be. It's the intention that you have, and that intention will make you 100% a better person and the people around you. Thank you guys so much for joining me again on Before the Rise podcast. It is available on Spotify in case you can't watch it on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram at Brozy. I will go ahead and put the link down below as well. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day and night. I look forward to hearing some comments, whatever it may be, with what you guys may think that we can talk about. As you guys can see, I'm being quite active with this stuff. I'm going to keep posting. I was a little sick, so it was a little hard for me to post, and I was on a trip. But either way, I'm back, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully, you had a good listen, and if you're listening to this at any time of day or night, enjoy it, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.